I bought this book because I enjoyed Chase Hughes at the Hypnosis conference in Chicago this past October. I had no idea it would require me to take naps after reading just a couple of pages just to process what was going on. This is not just a book review. This is a warning and an invitation. So in reading this book, I definitely wanted to highlight some things. As you can see, there's all kinds of highlighted things going on in here, but especially I'm going to be looking at pages 42 and 43 in the book. And I think this part is when, the body starts to understand the cognitive dismantling before the mind could really wrap itself around it, right? So the mind has no idea what's happening as you're reading this book. And, once you see the programming, I'm a professional linguist, and he talks about language specifically in this and how language is used. And wow, these two pages kind of really hit home for me because, what happens after you finish this book, you start to see the patterns everywhere. And you start to notice how so many of us are just blindly following the programming and maybe feeling trapped, unhappy, enslaved, can't make ends meet. How many are there? And a lot of times you're supposed to feel this way because it's by design. So really quick, who am I? I'm Deni Van. I'm the host of Hypnosis by Design because everything is hypnosis and it's by design. So, once you finish reading this book, these two pages in particular, as I, was going through this, it really is a juxtaposition. It really is a juxtaposition. So as, I read through this, it talks about the teacher. The words are alive only in relation. Teach them to ask, to say no to loud answers, and yes to slow ones. So the manual, words are not tools, but entities, self-replicating vectors inhabiting human hosts. Then the governance observation, words feed on cognition. So right here, the gut punch, as you're reading this, you realize media literacy has like this immune script. It talks about this on this page. And this is a script training people, the citizens, to reject certain contagions and absorb others. So immunity and infection are twin programs. So you're getting at it from all angles. And then once you see it, you just can't unsee it. So this is the psyop. So it's using our natural tendencies, our need for certainty, our trust in authority, our desire to belong. They're using these things against us to control perception, emotion, memory, and imagination. So this book, here's the warning, this book is not for everyone. But if you've already gone or are starting the deconditioning process, I've been going through the deconditioning process for about 10 years with human design and applying hypnosis techniques to myself and my clients. So if you're going through this deconditioning process, and this is a tool to unravel the layers. So this book will accelerate something within you. And again, the mind just can't wrap itself around it. This is the most unique book I have ever picked up. So I'm probably going to be reading this book maybe 2-3 more times, even though I can already feel the virus in my mind, even though I can already feel it coming. And it's going to convince me by making up stories about how I'm so busy and, I can't read that right now. So I realize that's the program talking. And so here's your call to action. If you're ready to see behind the curtain, seriously, meeting Chase in Chicago at the Hypnosis conference and then following him and reading this book, it has really accelerated and just completely opened the curtain to see what I can no longer unsee. So it's an invitation, if you're willing to have your perception dismantled and rebuilt, get your copy. And I'm going to be leaving our link below, but fair warning, you might need a nap.